Okay, so looking at the massage techniques now for working in this lower back, particularly in the QL area. I'm going to make some assumptions that you've massaged through and you've warmed everything up and everything's in a place where you're happy to do some deeper work. Again, from the video point of view, I might come around in a minute, but fundamentally I would be on your side of the couch, as it were. But so you can have access to the detail of the bony landmark work, I'm going to remain on this side, as you know, where practical. So the first thing to think about is this QL. Now QL attaches to the 12th rib. It's an interesting muscle in that it's very unstable at times with people's lower back pain. It's actually an abdominal muscle, but it gets involved because it's involved with attaching to the ribs. When people take a deep breath or cough or sneeze, it can often go into spasm and tight. So the junction on T12 with the first rib and the transverse process of T12 to L1 is a kind of quite a delicate area and could be quite sore. Now you're working underneath, in the orange here, I've put the Erector Spinae group. So the actual transverse process sits here, but the QL sits underneath it. So we have the Erector Spinae sitting here and the QL is quite deep. So a couple of ways in which I work on it, and I would be on your side of the couch. First of all, I find the rib, which I can now run my fingers through. And as I come up, I can feel the edge of the Erector Spinae group, and either with a supported thumb, I come in and I just do some nice careful kind of small circle work there, or with my fist, I come in that way, or I would use my forearm as well. I could come in with my forearm, and I might show you that if I come over that side of the couch, just to give you some ideas of that. And working on that QL end on the 12th rib, and also on the where it joins onto that last third of the iliac crest of the pelvis, of the ilium. Those two attachment points are really important to work on. So I could come around this way as well and just start to get that edge of the sacrum where it attaches, top of the sacrum, ilium, pretty close to the PSIS, all that kind of area here, about the size of a hand around here, is always very tender and sore lower back pain, and you can just gently sort of palpate through thumbs or forearms. I'm going to come around and just see how that works with the camera if I drop my forearm in here and do that kind of work. I think, yeah, that feels okay. You can see what I'm doing. That works quite well. So I would tend to come down the back from here, using my forearm, one hand on the couch supporting my body weight, coming through, sitting on that sort of QL ilium, and just let the body do the work. And then just ask the client to take a breath in, and as he or she releases, then you can just let your forearm come through, heading down the glute maximus muscle group. Works really nicely. Less is more. I think that came up on Thursday. Using your fist through here works really nicely too. That kind of, you've got a nice sort of curve of the fingertips there to be able to just roll into that gap through here. And then equally the other way, if I come up the other way without getting too much in the way, coming up this way as well, and obviously with the forearm too, works really well. Take your time to release the areas, both sides of QL. Pulling through from the other side works quite nicely too. So fingertips on top of each other, coming up in between the ilium and the 12th rib. There's, 2 fingers, 3 fingers sort of width there, but you can come in, grab and pull back. And I like this move. You can really kind of tuck underneath the spinae group through the transverse abdominis muscles, or abdomen muscles, and then pull through and just hold that space. Again, client breathing, releasing as you just let that QL release and just gently do it. So no heavy fast work, no deep sort of pokey fingers, just a real kind of working within that kind of 1 to 5 scale, 2s and 3s. So it's really comfortable for the client, and you'll feel after a while the tissue actually just releasing and letting you have more access as you come through. The other piece of work I wanted to include on this video was working on the SI joint. and techniques of working on this area. I've shown here, I've just exposed a little bit, but you can see the edge of the sacrum here, that triangle of the sacrum. And what I've done here is just showing you the edge of the sacrum. So this is where the glute maximus attaches. I've written on here the piriformis as well, because piriformis tucks underneath and joins onto the inside surface of the sacrum. And these groups of muscles are really nice to work on from this angle. Now, again, you can pull out through like this, which is a nice way to go through. Technique I use a lot in the classroom, which I like, is fingertips on the edge of the sacrum. Now, I'll just make sure you can get this with the camera, but here I am on that edge. I can feel my fingertips. If that's the sacrum, I'm banging up against the edge of the sacrum, and I can actually feel that ridge as I go up. And I put my fingertips, you can use your forearm if you want to, but for the video I'm going to use fingertips. And I would encourage you to really be quite kind of politely aggressive with rocking up and down over the SI joint, coming down the edge of the sacrum. Obviously you've got to be careful around sort of glutes and have